Welcome to Modern Testament Talk. Now here's a question that's as old as time itself. Why does God test our faith? But before you start breaking out in a cold sweat thinking about pop quizzes or whether or not you did study, you didn't. Let's take a deep breath and explore this topic together. Just breathe. Spoiler alert, God's tests are way better than any math test you've ever taken. Understanding the concept of testing, all right, so what do we mean when we say God tests our faith? First, let's clear something up. When we talk about God testing us, it's not like he's sitting up in heaven with a clipboard ready to mark our answers wrong. Instead, think of it more like a divine gym session. Just as physical exercise strengthens our muscles, tests of faith are meant to strengthen our spiritual muscles. Eye of the tiger. Why does God test us? There are several reasons why God might test our faith, and we've got some cool biblical examples to help us out. Check it out. First up, to strengthen our faith, let's kick things off with a classic, Abraham. In Genesis 22, God asks Abraham to offer his son Isaac as a sacrifice. Sounds intense, right? But here's the deal. God wasn't planning on taking Isaac away. He was testing Abraham's faith and obedience. And guess what? Abraham passed with flying colors and his faith was stronger than ever. Imagine the conversation between Abraham and Isaac on their way up the mountain. Isaac's like, "Hey, Dad, where's the lamb for the sacrifice?" And Abraham, trying to keep it cool, says, "God will provide, son." Talk about faith under pressure. 2, to teach us dependence on him. Next up, we have the Israelites in the wilderness. In Deuteronomy 8, verse 2, Moses reminds the Israelites how God led them through the desert for 40 years to test them and to know what was in their hearts. God wanted them to depend on him for everything. Food, water, guidance. Think of it as the ultimate survival training with God as their God. God provided manna, a mysterious bread from heaven. Imagine waking up every morning to find breakfast literally falling from the sky. Hey, what's for breakfast? Oh, just some more of that miracle bread. It was a daily reminder that they needed to rely on God for their needs. 3, to reveal our true character. Remember Joab? The guy who had everything and then lost it all? In the book of Joab, Satan argues that Joab is only faithful because his life is so good. So God allows Joab to be tested to prove his true character. Despite losing his wealth, his health, and even his children, Joab's faith remained strong. He didn't curse God, but instead said, "The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Joab chapter 1, verse 21. Can you imagine Joab's friends trying to comfort him? "Joab, buddy, maybe it's time to curse God. Call it quits." And Joab, in his unwavering faith, says, "Nah, I'm good. God's got this." 4, to prepare us for greater things. Sometimes tests are about preparing us for the next big thing. Take Joseph, for example. In Genesis 37, verse 50, Joseph's life is a roller coaster. Sold into slavery by his brothers, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. Yet he remained faithful to God. These tests prepared Joseph for his eventual role as the second most powerful man in Egypt. He was able to save his family and many others from famine because he trusted God through it all. Joseph's journey is like the ultimate underdog story. From pit to palace, God used every test to prepare him for greatness. It's like God was saying, "Hang tight, Joseph. I've got big plans for you." 5, to build perseverance and endurance. In James chapter 1, verses 2 to 4, it goes, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Trials and tests are like spiritual boot camp. They might be tough, but they shape us into the people God wants us to be. Think of it as training for a marathon. No one enjoys the grueling practice runs, but without them, you'd never make it to the finish line. God's tests are preparing us for the long race ahead. How should we respond to God's tests? Knowing that God tests our faith for our benefit, how should we respond? Here are a few tips. Trust in God's plan. Proverbs 3 verses 5 and 6 tells us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." When we're facing tests, it's crucial to remember that God's plan is bigger and better than anything we can imagine. Just trust that he's got your back. Imagine God as your life's GPS. Even when the road seems bumpy and you hit some unexpected detours, trust that he knows the best route to your destination. 2, stay patient and endure. In Romans 5 verses 3 and 4, it says, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope." It's all about the long game. Tests and trials might not be fun, but they build our character and give us hope. Stay patient and keep pushing through. Think of it as baking a cake. You can't rush the process, or you'll end up with a gooey mess. Good things take time, and God's tests are part of the recipe for a stronger faith. 3. Seek God's wisdom. James 1 verse 5 says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." When you're in the middle of a test, don't hesitate to ask God for wisdom. He's like the ultimate cheat sheet, always available and eager to help. Imagine you're stuck on a tricky math problem, and you have a genius tutor at your disposal. Why struggle alone when you can ask for help? God's wisdom is there for the taking. 4. Rejoice in the opportunity to grow. Peter 1 verses 6 to 7 encourages us to rejoice even in trials, because they refine our faith like gold. Trials might be tough, but they're opportunities for growth. Celebrate the fact that God is shaping you into something amazing. It's like leveling up in a video game. Each test and trial is a chance to gain experience points and grow stronger in your faith journey. Personal stories of faith testing. Sometimes hearing how others have navigated their faith test can be incredibly encouraging. Let me share a personal story. A friend of mine went through a major health scare a few years ago. The diagnosis was grim, and the road to recovery looked impossible. But instead of giving up, she clung to her faith. She prayed, read her Bible, and leaned on her church community for support. Through the ups and downs, her faith was tested and strengthened. Today, she's healthier and more faith-filled than ever, living proof that God uses tests to build us up. Think about your own life. Have you faced challenges that tested your faith? How did you respond? Reflecting on these experiences can help you see how God has been at work, even in the toughest times. Embracing the journey. It's important to remember that faith testing is a journey. It's not about a single test, but a lifetime of growing and maturing in our relationship with God. Sometimes we'll stumble, and that's okay. What matters is that we get back up and keep moving forward, trusting that God is with us every step of the way. Imagine a toddler learning to walk. They fall a lot, true, but each fall teaches them something new, and eventually they're running around with confidence. Our faith journey is a lot like that. We might fall, but each test and trial helps us grow stronger. So, in conclusion, the purpose of faith tests: why does God test our faith? To strengthen us, teach us dependence, reveal our true character, prepare us for greater things, and build perseverance. These tests are opportunities for growth and deeper connection with God. Embrace them with joy, trust in His plan, and seek His wisdom. Remember, each test is a step towards becoming the person God created you to be. Stay strong, stay faithful, and keep shining your light.